Hey guys, it's your Couch Potato RC guy here. Last night I broke in my slash here, and I ran one battery pack through, and I kept the speeds as high as possible. I avoided hard acceleration. What I'm going to do now, and I know some of you might think that this is excessive, but this is, it's my slash, and I'm looking for performance and reliability. I'm going to take this stock motor, this Titan 12 turn, I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to clean it. Okay, I've done ran it for about 20-25 minutes. Pretty high speed. I broke it in. It's sat overnight, so the motor is absolutely cool. And that is what I'm going to do. Take y'all on for the ride here. Let's see here. The socket that I need is a 7mm. To remove the wheel, to make it easier to get to. On my socket here. Seven. And get my adapter right here. And my electric screwdriver. And we will take this wheel off. Already loosened screws. Remove that wheel. There are two down here. 1 and 2 screws that are hex that we need to remove. And the size of the hex is I think it's 2mm hex. So what we're going to do here is take the transmission cover off that houses the pinion gear and the spur gear, so that we can get to the bolts or screws that attach the motor to the transmission. And these are two different size on length screws here. One's shorter than the other. The short one went down at the bottom. Now there's 1, 2 right there to remove that. And I don't think we'll have to. I think if we remove this one, that one can stay put, and we can remove the motor out the back. without having to move the spur gear at all. There we go. So, yeah, that bolt stayed in place right here. I got the bottom bolt out, which is also the adjustment bolt, and then I got the motor out. So then we're gonna carefully pull these plugs out. Hate how snug those are. I know it's for a good fit, but I hate creating any tension on these connections right here. They're soldered, but solder is not like a weld, so anything can happen. Now, what I'm gonna do is stuff out. You'll see different videos of people using this stuff. It's recommended to use a contact cleaner, electrical grade. I picked this up at Menards. It's pretty expensive. Electrical cleaner is. This 11-ounce bottle or aerosol can costs me like $7. WD-40 is cheaper. WD-40 wicks away water. But it leaves an oil residue behind. And it's good for rust inhibitors, but it's not good for something that might be exposed to dust. Because you spray WD-40 in here, you're going to end up with a bunch of dust. The other thing I see most people use is like a carb cleaner. Carb cleaner sprays is very similar to this stuff. Carb cleaner has a lot of abrasive materials in it, though. Carb cleaner is meant for generally metal surfaces. It's not made for anything with plastics and rubbers and sensitive things that the motor might have. So carb cleaner is okay if you don't want your motor to last forever. It's better than nothing, but it's like I'll spend the extra $2 or $3 and get this. What we're gonna do here, I have a pan over here, an oil pan. What we're gonna do is, here, I'll just bring the camera over here. We're gonna take, there's holes all around this motor. On this end, on this end. I'm going to take this carb cleaner and I'm going to spray it in these holes. I'm going to hold it up over. Use my straw here. Put my straw on the carb, not on the carb cleaner, on the contact cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and hold this over the pan. It's best to wear safety glasses. And actually, one more thing I do want to wear. Some gloves. Just some regular blue gloves. And preferably just on the hand that's holding the part, because this stuff, it's hazardous, you know. It's not anything you really want to play around with. This will keep your hands clean from it, so you don't spread it around. After you're done and it dries, you can take the gloves off. So let's do this again. I'm gonna spray in there and all these holes here. Try to get all angles. That hole, that hole, that hole. And depending on how long it's been since you've done this, will determine how clean or dirty your motor is. Now, remember, I've only had one run on this. It was the break-in. I'm doing this specifically to make the brushes end up with a clean contact after that break-in. Whether or not the power is noticeable, I don't know. But in theory, it makes perfect sense that a break-in creates a lot of debris. You have new surfaces getting formed on others. This stuff is ice cold when it hits this. So this is extremely cold. It's almost like dry ice. So it's perfectly normal. Carb cleaner will do the same thing. They're very similar, like I said. One's just made more for sensitive parts than others. But I'm going to let this dry. It'll dry really quick. And then after it dries, I'm going to put some oil on it. Let me go ahead and get the oil out. Show you what I have. I just have General Use 3-in-1 brand. And it has this telescoping tip, which I don't know if you can see. I'm up in the air on it still. I don't think the precision of this oil works as good as I'd like. It's better than nothing, but it kind of gets messy. Like right there, just taking the top off, I got oil all over me. So let me get a rag here. Clean it up so I'm not cross-contaminating everything. It's another thing too, guys. You want to be careful. Getting oil all over everything. I'm gonna go ahead and hold the motor with the rag. I'm just gonna put oil, 1 drop, on this bushing right here, and on the opposite side, I'm gonna get between the gear, the pinion gear, and that bushing, right at the the end of the motor. I'm gonna put oil on both ends. Just 1 drop, if I can get away with just 1 drop. That's all I need. There's 1 drop. It's kind of harder. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate the pinion gear. Kind of work that oil in on both sides. Take my rag and kind of just blot up any excess oil that's around. I don't want oil on the outside. I'm just trying to work it inside the bearing. So there's that. And that's done. Let me take my gloves off, reposition the camera, and we'll put it back in real quick. The motor's going to go in the same way it came out. There's 2 screw holes. Go ahead and put your screw on that one. kind of leave it loose, because you're going to place this in there and get it started. And then you're going to adjust the play between the pinion gear and the spur gear. So I really wish my big hands weren't always in the way of your viewing, but somebody's got to do the work, so. Pretty much, guys, that's it. After I adjust this, I'm going to put the cover back on. You're going to want just a little bit of play. Like, I hear it moving. And that's it. You don't want too tight, you don't want too loose. So that right there, that's money. I'm going to tighten it down. And before I close it up, I double check. I've tightened the screws. Before I put the cover on and run it, I just double check. It's good. Go ahead and reconnect your electrics. Make sure you put them on good. You want maximum connection. Get the cover. Remember the smaller one went on the bottom. Here's big hands again. Put the big one up on top. Put your wheel back on. Make sure you got it on the hub, the hex. And put your screw back in. Put your nut back on your bolt, and your wheel bolt, and tighten it down. And be careful if you're using electric, you don't want to over tighten. I always leave the electric device loose in my hand, so that when it does tighten down, the torque just kind of releases. And there it is, guys. Another Couch Potato RC production on how to clean your electric motor properly. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Keep looking out for any new videos I come out with. I do it for you guys. Thanks.